But still, we keep seeing these deaths on the road. Just recently, in Kericho, 458 people lost their lives, and the claims are that the bus was not in good condition. There was a complaint on the brakes. The people saying that the driver was 72 years old. He had been at work for just 2 days. There are people saying that the traffic police, the police on the roads, the roadblocks were not able to cite that anomaly. And there's even an announcement by your boss, the Inspector General, that they're going to take action against every person who might have been involved in that chain. So the question is, even as you try to do this, where does the buck stop? Because apparently people are still dying on the road because of things that could have been avoided. How do you ensure that is done, even as you craft policy?
Yes, we ensure that we educate people, first of all, without knowledge. Someone may not, or anyone who does not have a knowledge of an issue will not be able to bring a change or to make a change anyway. So we want to sensitize our people, that is Kenyan people. We want to make sure that they know that there is a risk on the road, people are dying on the road. And also, while we are doing that, as police, in collaboration with other agencies like National Transport and Safety Authority, and also our Ministry of Transport, we also do enforcement. Enforcement, this includes arrests, includes detection of offenses on the road. It includes also that general facilitation of free flow of traffic. We also remove obstructions on the road. So we have quite a lot on the road, which these traffic officers you see on the road, they do a lot. When there is an obstruction on the road, they remove. When there is a vehicle which is has committed a traffic offense, they arrest.
So how are they not able, for instance, to know that the killer bus that killed 58 was not in good condition? Why didn't they impound the bus and arrest the driver or the officials?
The issue of condition of motor vehicle is not our work. It is the work of motor vehicle inspectors. This is under NDSA. And for a police officer to detect this vehicle is not in sound condition, unless there is some indication of tires are worn out.
There was an indication.
There's smoke.
There was an indication.
What was this indication?
The sticker, the insurance sticker, expired in July 2018. This accident happened just the other day in October.
No, the issue is at that night there were limited roadblocks, not the way you are putting that. There were so many roadblocks from Nairobi to Kericho. We have an issue with roadblocks along the northern corridor. That we need these transit goods to move very fast. So we have limited roadblocks along that route to allow these vehicles, rather than, a roadblock is always, you have to check a vehicle thoroughly. What is it happening, what is carrying, what is it? So, also we cooperate with other agencies across the border. They say there is a lot of delay, and remember, even His Excellency, the President said, he wants to fast track this issue of transit goods going to our neighbors should go quickly. So by that day, investigation is going on. We will establish where was a roadblock. That is something which is going on, and we will establish, and we will get to know if there was a roadblock at a certain place, whether it was in Nakuru, whether it was in Londiani. We will get to know through the investigation. There is a serious investigation going on. Do
you have a role in this investigation yourself?
No. There is a team. There is another team.
Okay, because I was going to ask you the question that in as much as you're saying that the roadblocks have been reduced, at least there should be a few that are able to nab such kind of vehicles that are clearly, they have not respected the law, that your insurance needs to be up to date.
But the issue of roadblocks, it has also been an issue to our people. There is so many complaints about roadblocks from our own people, members of public, that we don't need these roadblocks. But for us, police, we are putting roadblocks when there is a need. Okay. We know, we have information, we always gather information from so many sources that we know there is something likely to happen along this road, there is some movement or whatever, it is goods or whatever. That is why we put a roadblock, we arrest the people carrying pang or carrying some illegal goods. And then after that, to avoid a lot of issues about complaints that you are putting a roadblock here, and then
so then the question, because there are people who might want to play with the law, and they will have vehicles that are not roadworthy, they'll have vehicles that have not up-to-date insurance, they'll have drivers who are not qualified.
Yes.
How do you arrest them so that you protect the lives of Kenyans, despite sensitizing them at forums like you did in Narok?
But today, during daytime, that was at night, and always traffic issues at night are somehow limited. But now, during the day, those at the time now, we check on these vehicles. We look at the vehicles, they have whatever it takes to travel along that route. Okay. There is no contravening, there is whatever, no excess passengers. And even investigation is still yet to reveal whether there were excess passenger. Because maybe this, out of these people, 70 which was in the vehicle, we want to establish how many were children. Okay. Because there are children who are allowed to accompany their parents. Okay. Yes.
Okay, I'll leave that at that because you're saying that the investigations are still going on. But I remember that in December last year, there was a press conference by the Cabinet Secretaries for Transport, James Macharia, and also by CS Fred Matiang'i in charge of Interior. And then the NTSA was also represented. Part of the recommendations that were given or moves that were taken is that no driver is allowed to drive for more than 8 hours a day.
That is law.
That is law?
Yes.
How have you been able to enforce this?
Yeah, what happens is, you see now we have collaboration with also SACCOs. SACCOs were established and they were registered with NTSA.
But they are breaching this?
Yeah, that is an issue now we want to revisit as a team now. The team which was making that enlightenment, they were enlightening people about the 8 hours. Now we want to revisit. And already we are working on that. We want to know how many others may have been, through that, those drivers may have not been kind enough for drivers to have a rest. Because if you see that accident, really, it was attributed to maybe fatigue. That driver was very tired, because according to some evidence we have, not evidence really, but information we have, is that the vehicle, that driver did not have enough time to rest. So that is something we need to investigate, the information, find credible evidence really that the driver did not get the 8 hours to rest. So
is it possible, from what you said, because you've been in the police service for quite some time, is it possible to prevent this before it happens?
Yes.
That if there are drivers who are driving for more than 8 hours, whichever SACCO it is it possible to stop them?
Yes, why not?
How do you do that?
We are stopping them on the road always. You know, we are preventing a lot of accidents. It is only that there is no statistics. Because if you prevent something did not occur, we lack statistics. Okay. We don't have statistics to show how many accidents were prevented. But our actions as police, that enforcement actions, you find police, they are there, a camera is somewhere. You go to Kinungi, you find matatus, they are going slowly down there. You know Kinungi has been a killer all these years. But now Kinungi is a safe area, it's a safe area. So our activities as police contribute a lot to the safety. And that is why we have contained the statistics for many years. They are not exceeding 3,000 nowadays, even if exceed 3,000 by a small margin. But those in the year like 2008, these accidents had gone to 4,000. But through our serious and effective also enforcement, we have reduced them and contained them at around 3,000. And really it is something we need to be appreciated. Taking into consideration that the vehicles are increasing every day, taking into consideration that border are increasing, people are also increasing, with all this friction, and also areas like Nairobi, it is leading in pedestrian accidents. Why? Because the planning in some areas in the city are not adequate. You find this road we are using on the road, the road we are using vehicles on the road. We are also using mkokoteni on the road. There is also trawlers on the road. There is also people walking on foot. There is every kind of motor vehicle, lorries, buses, matatus. We are using that thin road, that narrow road. So you find they are increasing day by day, and people are coming. There is this issue of urbanization. People are coming to the urban area. Okay. So there is a huge mobility. We need to expand so many other things like roads. We need to improve. We have a pedestrian walk. We have mkokoteni walk, maybe where they are pushing it. And they have got also trawlers. Go to Nairobi and you see the mess. Go to Muturwa area and you will witness a lot of chaotic situation. And these have been left to traffic officers to control. It is up to you to do whatever you do. And it is not our work to purely pavements. It is not our work to put traffic lights. To design roads. So many officers are being used to facilitate traffic in Nairobi rather than us going to enforcement. So you bring all officers for facilitation.
Last year during that press conference by CSs, Fred Matiang'i and James Macharia, they said that there were 3,000 police officers who were in the traffic department. But that aside, there was a directive also that all the driving schools are to be registered. I know it's a purview of the National Transport and Safety Authority, but from the information that you have, why is this not taking so long? Because you do not have the registration of the driving schools. I'm not sure how far you have gone with the implementation of the new curriculum. Where are we in all this?
For the curriculum and also the driving schools, you will remember that some section of driving school proprietors and other interested parties went to court. And they pursued that case seriously. There were about 3 cases in court. And some of these cases have been completed. Some of them have not been really completed. So what prevented us from, and also NTSA, from implementing that decision, it was because of that court order which prevented them from enforcing the curriculum or implementing the curriculum. Right. And also the issue of registration of driving schools. So they're still maintaining the ones we have, and we are still doing, we are still working together with the NTSA in collaborations, and as they build their capacity. Police also, we are moving out slowly. We don't want, we are all brothers and we belong to one government, we belong to one country. So we work together. As police, we move out from the issue of driving schools and examiners. So we are still together, but we are waiting for them to build their capacities. Already they are building their capacities. There's also areas which they are taking care, like Thika, examiners there is no police officer, there is NTSA people. So we still have police officers in some areas supporting NTSA work. This is a serious area. We need to look. Drivers, these accidents, by large, I blame drivers myself. Among the causes of accidents on the road, the only one with intelligence, the one who can make the things, is the human being, and that is the driver. We have the road, the condition of the road, and how the road is designed. It is up to you, because you are clever, you are a driver, you have the intelligence, you have the understanding to take care. Drive slowly. I'm driving down at a slope place. You need to take care, because you are the only intelligent. That the road does not understand what you are talking of design, or it has no life, no knowledge. The same to motor vehicle.
So my last question to you, and that is a good point that you put there, that it's up to the drivers, but that press conference also said that the drivers are to be retrained. It has not happened. So what is this so difficult that 1 year down the line you're not able to implement resolutions that we pass when there is a crisis in the country in terms of accident? Like, will we be talking about this again in a year's time?
Yeah, you see, it depends on how the cases will get to end in courts. And you see also, as government, when we put a policy in place, our intention is to implement the policy. So when we go to court, when somebody takes us to court, we cannot, because we have a respect to court, we cannot continue implementing while the court is saying stop. And then the police or the government is saying, no, let us implement. No, we cannot do that. We are people who abide to the law and also the constitution of this country.